Have you ever felt like you know you're capable of more, but somehow you keep repeating the same habits, the same thoughts, and the same excuses, like there's a bigger version of you inside, more confident, more disciplined, more powerful, but you can't fully access it? That's exactly what Tony Robbins talks about in Awaken the Giant Within. And here's the promise of this book. You do not need more luck. You do not need perfect timing, and you do not need permission. You already have the power to change your life, your mindset, your habits, your emotions, and even your financial future, starting today. In this video, we're breaking down 5 of the most powerful lessons from the book, and more importantly, how you can actually apply them right now. Because motivation feels great, but action changes everything. So what does Awaken the Giant Within actually mean? Tony Robbins believes every person has an inner giant, a huge amount of strength, courage, creativity, discipline, and untapped potential. The problem is most people never fully use it because they let circumstances control them. They let emotions control them. They let old beliefs decide what their future will look like. Over time, they stop making intentional choices and start living on autopilot. Tony's message is simple. The moment you decide to take control of your mental, emotional, physical, and financial life, everything begins to change. Not someday, not when the timing is perfect. Right now, real transformation starts with one decision, followed by daily action. The first big lesson from this book is this: your decisions shape your destiny. Tony says it's not your circumstances that define your life. It's the decisions you make in response to those circumstances. 2 people can face the same setback. One gives up, the other grows stronger and becomes more determined than ever. The difference isn't luck, it's the meaning they attach to what happened and what they decide to do next. So many people wait until they feel motivated, but motivation is unreliable. Some days it's there, some days it disappears. Decisions are stronger than motivation because a real decision creates momentum. A decision like, I'm done tolerating this, or I'm finally taking control of my health, or I'm learning the skill I've been putting off, can change the direction of your life. Tony wants you to stop waiting and start deciding. Ask yourself, what have you been tolerating for too long? What's draining your energy or keeping you stuck? Then make one clear decision and back it up with action today. Even a small step matters. The second lesson is incredibly simple but powerful. Change your vocabulary. Change your life. Tony teaches that words shape emotion, and emotion shapes behavior. Think about how often people say things like, I'm overwhelmed, I'm exhausted, I always mess this up, or I'm terrible at this. Your brain listens. It absorbs that language and starts reinforcing those emotions. But if you change the words, you can change your emotional state almost instantly. Instead of saying, I'm overwhelmed, try saying, I'm prioritizing. Instead of, I failed, say, I learned. Instead of, I'm nervous, say, I'm excited. That small change shifts how your mind interprets the situation. And when your emotional state changes, your actions change too. Pay attention to your language today. Catch one negative phrase and replace it with something stronger. I have to becomes I choose to. I can't becomes I'm learning how. These tiny shifts may seem small, but repeated daily, they completely change the way you think and feel. The third lesson is one of Tony Robbins' biggest ideas: pain and pleasure control behavior. According to Tony, humans do almost everything for one of 2 reasons: to avoid pain or to gain pleasure. Think about procrastination. Why do people delay important things? Because starting feels uncomfortable. Why do people stay in habits they hate? Because those habits feel familiar and comfortable in the moment. Why do people avoid difficult conversations? Because discomfort feels painful. Tony teaches that if you connect enough pain to staying the same and enough pleasure to changing, your behavior starts shifting naturally. Let's say you've been avoiding exercise. Right now, skipping workouts feels easier, but what happens if you emotionally connect pain to staying the same? Lower energy, worse health, frustration, regret. Then connect pleasure to the new behavior. more confidence, feeling stronger, better energy, and pride in yourself. Suddenly your brain sees change differently. It stops seeing action as pain and starts seeing it as progress. Take one habit you've been trying to change and ask yourself, what will it cost me if I stay like this for another year? Then ask, how good will life feel if I actually change? Make it emotional. That matters. The fourth lesson is mastering your emotional state. Tony talks about this constantly because your emotional state affects your results immediately. You can be the exact same person and perform completely differently depending on your energy. When you feel stressed, overwhelmed, or discouraged, your thinking becomes weaker. Your focus drops. Your decisions become emotional. But when you feel confident and energized, you move differently. You think faster. You take action. Tony teaches that you can change your emotional state physically before your mind catches up. Stand taller. Move your body. Breathe deeply. Walk with energy. Smile. Shift your posture. Use your body to change your mind. This matters because most people wait until they feel ready before acting. Tony flips that idea around. Create the energy first, then take action. If you feel stuck today, stand up. Walk around. Take deep breaths. Shoulders back. Head up. Say out loud, I'm in control. Then immediately do the next important thing. Action creates momentum, and momentum changes how you feel. The fifth lesson is about standards. Tony says goals are powerful, but standards are even more important. A goal says I want something. A standard says this is who I am and how I live. A goal says I want to read more. A standard says I read every day. A goal says I want to feel confident. A standard says I keep promises to myself. That difference matters because standards shape identity. And identity drives long-term results. The reason some people make consistent progress isn't because they feel motivated every day. It's because they created standards they refuse to break. Small repeated actions become part of who they are. And over time, those actions completely change their life. Choose one standard today. Keep it simple. 10 minutes of reading. A short walk every morning. No phone for the first 30 minutes of the day. Writing your top 3 priorities, drinking enough water, then commit to it for 10 days. Build consistency, build trust with yourself. That trust becomes confidence, and confidence changes everything. At the end of the day, Awaken the Giant Within teaches something powerful. Your life does not change because you wait. It changes because you decide. You raise your standards. You change your words. You take control of your emotions. You stop letting circumstances decide everything for you. And little by little, the stronger version of you, the one you've always known was there, starts showing up more often. That's the giant Tony Robbins talks about. It was always inside you. The only question is whether you're ready to wake it up. So if one of these lessons hit home for you, don't just think about it. Apply it today. Pick one action. Make one decision. Raise one standard. Because the quality of your life can start changing the moment you decide it will. And that moment could be right now.